Insurance agents, listen up. If you're just getting started in the industry, or maybe you've been in the industry for a long time, you know that there are several steps along the sales process. And step number one typically involves getting your client on the phone. Now, this is the same whether you're going to be a face-to-face agent or if you're going to be a telesales agent. No matter what, you need to make sure that that client is picking up the phone. And what I hear from agents over and over again is that that is a problem. They have a hard time getting agents on the phone, and this is causing frustration for them. It's causing them to want to throw in the towel. And I hear things like, I can't get anybody on their phone, or I'm making hundreds of dials and I don't talk to anyone. It's a real problem that has been recognized by this industry time and time again. Lots of people have gone out there trying to solve it, but nobody has really been able to tackle it. When your contact rate goes up, you will spend less on leads, you will make more money, but most importantly, you're really going to enjoy this business more. Who wants to spend all day dialing, only to listen to the phone ring? It's not fun at all. So what we're hoping to cover in this video is really effective ways that you can improve your contact rate so that you can talk to more people, present to more people, and ultimately sell more of those precious leads that you have invested in. Hi, my name is Corey Bell, and I, like you, am an insurance agent. Before I was an insurance agent, I actually worked in the education field. So I was a teacher, an assistant principal, and a principal. And one thing that was really driven into me as I worked on my master's and my doctorate was the importance of data. Data is very important. Data should drive your decision making. I've been in the insurance space for 5 years, and I started out like a lot of you in the field, and I would go out knocking door to door. I was a six-figure earner right out of the gate, but then when COVID hit, I did transition to telesales like so many people, and I fell in love with it. One of the things I love to share is that my wife works with me on a daily basis. It's one of the things that truly is the American dream, and we are loving life. We are living it to the fullest, all because of this industry. Now, when I looked at the data inside of our agency, I realized there was something missing and something that we could do better, and that's when I went on the hunt to find solutions to this contact rate issue. Now, when I started looking at the literature, one of the first pieces of data that jumped out to me was from the Harvard Business Review, and they did a publication that basically looks at 3 years of data, over 15,000 unique leads, and 100,000 call attempts. So this is a big volume of data that we can draw conclusions from. The Harvard Business Review found 4 key stats that really can help agents improve their contact rate. And the first one was that if you wait as much as 10 minutes to make your first phone call to a lead, you have over a 400% decrease in the chance of contacting them. So let that sink in for a second. How valuable is that? If we can call our leads the second that they opt in, the second that they inquire about a service, we have over 400% better chance of contacting them. Now that alone can make a huge dent in the problem that we're talking about. Another thing that really jumped out to me was how many times we are calling our leads. I don't know if you're aware of this, but your chances of contacting them jump drastically once you have made 6 call attempts. Now, this isn't 6 call attempts over the course of 6 months. It's in a very short time frame, over 1 or 2 days. You want to make those first 6 call attempts. One other thing we also found out is that most representatives only attempt to call a lead once, and over 30% of the leads are actually never contacted at all. So this is huge. The agents that have persistency, the agents that are willing to put the time in, the agents that are willing to call multiple times have a much better chance getting in contact with a lead that they are trying to prospect. Another thing that really jumped out to me was they looked at the best day to make contact, and what they found was that on Wednesdays and Thursdays, leads are more likely to be contacted. Why? We don't know. But I always think about that when leads are coming in. Agents tend to work hard Monday and Tuesday, and they're starting to take their foot off the gas come Wednesday and Thursday, and they're working old tired leads at that point, and they're starting to give up. So this is a key that we need to dig deep, maybe even put in a second order for midweek so that we can really capitalize on those days that have proven to yield more contacts. The The last piece of information that I really pulled out of this research was the times that we should be calling. Now, I'm a firm believer that the harder you work, the more you make. So please don't take this to mean there's only 2 time frames you should be calling. But we have found that agents that call leads between 8 and 9 in the morning, and agents that also call between 4 and 5 p.m. actually have the best chance of making contact. And I think about that because so many agents don't get started at 8 a.m. and so many agents are taking a dinner break sometime around 4 or 5 p.m. 2 of the best times for you to be reaching out to your leads. So make sure we've reserved those times to prospecting future insurance clients. Considering those 4 key bits of information, there's several things that we have tried and I have advised other agents to try as well. The first thing we started to try to really build the volume inside of our agency is we looked for a cheaper lead source. And a lot of our agents tried age leads. A lot of our agents were trying to find some lower intent leads because we figured volume will matter. And what we ended up realizing was that yes, we were getting more leads for our money. And yes, the volume did go up a little bit. Our agents were becoming very, very frustrated because they were needing to make way more dials to get in contact with the client than they should. And those that had a lower intent lead basically would get somebody on the phone, but there was no way to convert that sale because the ad was potentially misleading or barking up the wrong tree. So we ruled out those. We didn't want to work the cheaper leads. We want to be as efficient as humanly possible in our agency. Another thing we tried was live transfers. And if you don't know what a live transfer is, that's basically a marketing company that is warming up a lead to some extent. And I do want to say that loosely because sometimes the warming up is simply, I've got an agent on the line, can you please hold? And that's as far as the conversation goes. So what you run into with a live transfer is, you know you're going to contact them, which is great because we automatically solve the problem. However, a lot of times you're getting a lead that has been misled. And what ends up happening is those go nowhere. So we can see a lower conversion rate on those conversations that you have inside of a live transfer. Another thing is that live transfers are prohibitively expensive. A lot of times agents are paying upwards of $60, $70, sometimes $100 per transfer, depending on the buffer. If they're willing to give you a long buffer, you're going to pay more. If you're willing to accept no buffer, just understand you're going to talk to people that want to complain about hold music, or they thought that this was about a car giveaway or something like that. They just simply wanted to connect you with someone so they could collect their $30 and be on their way. Now, age leads didn't give us the results we wanted, and live transfers clearly weren't working for us. So the next thing we looked at were vendors that provided real-time leads. I'm going to put this in air quotes, real-time, because a real-time lead is only a real-time lead if you can work it in real time. So the leads might have been generated in real time, and they would come into us at midnight or 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning when we were asleep, but then we would get up and we would have a 4, 5, 6 hour old lead. Yes, we'd get some in the work hours as well, and those tended to convert better because we're able to call them right away. But the problem was you had no say in when leads come in. You had no control over the ad copy. You did not know exactly what was going on, and so you were kind of left to their mercy. The great thing is they were a little bit cheaper than the live transfers, but they were still pretty expensive. And because we had no control over when they came in, we were not converting to the rate that we had hoped we would. And this brought me to the last solution that we really went after, which was running our own ads. And this has been a great solution for us. However, I do want to caution you, it took years of skinning our knees, falling off the bike, years of taking courses, years of learning what to do. I know there's promises out there on the internet, on Facebook, on YouTube, saying you can run the ads very quickly. It's not hard to give Facebook money. It's not hard to give Google money. It's not hard to give TikTok money. It's easy to launch an ad, to get an ad that's going to convert, that's going to perform, that you can get at a reasonable cost, however, is the challenge. And that is something that we have spent years and years and years working on so that we could have our own lead source inside of our agency. I've had a lot of agents reach out to me and ask about running their own ads, and I pretty much am an open book. I'm willing to help anybody, but the thing I see over and over again is they realize how time-consuming it is. Managing a page, nurturing a page, bouncing comments, making sure that your ad is performing well, analyzing the metrics. They don't have it in them because it's pulling them away from the calling often and calling frequently. And so instead of really working their leads, they're working their ads, and what ends up happening is they go broke in the process. So in the end, we knew we wanted a high quality lead that would come in real time when we wanted it to come in, and we wanted to be able to work them very, very efficiently and effectively. So after trying all of these different lead sources and still having an agent force that was unhappy, unsatisfied with the results, I went to work to try and find solutions that would solve the problem, that would get them on the phone with people, that would put them in front of qualified prospects so that they could do what they do best, which is educate, inform, and solve the problem of them not having coverage and increasing their revenue. The first solution we looked at was notification of a new lead coming in. And so there were several different ways we went about this. And the first one was simply sending an email to the agent, letting them know, hey, you have a new lead and here's the information about them. And that worked really, really well. Some agents loved getting those emails no matter where they were, knowing they had a new lead. So if they were about to go into the store, they could call that lead right then and there. And I had a lot of agents that were closing leads in parking lots. Now, the problem was, the email for some didn't always work. It was, I don't always have my email open. It's not always in your face. And so the next thing we looked at was sending a text message notification. And this was simply a text message in real time when a lead came in that said, you have a new lead and here's all the detail about it. Because it comes on your cell phone, you can simply click the phone number on the lead itself, and then you're able to talk to them right away. Again, it created that solution where we were able to get in touch with them in real time. And then the final way, and this I thought was the coolest thing the agents really, really loved that we came up with, was we had a system that when a lead came in, it actually placed a phone call to you, notifying you of a lead, and all you had to do was hit a button on the phone and it would dial that lead for you. So this really, really caused us to have that speed to lead that we were all chasing. We knew, boom, I got the phone call. It says I have a new lead. I just hit a button, and then within minutes, I'm connected to a lead. Minutes as in after they filled out the form. By doing all of these things, we did see an increase in contact rate, but we weren't done there. We wanted to look at some other solutions as well. Another thing we really wanted to do inside of our agency was take a lot of the guesswork on when you should call a lead. And so what we did was we created a system where you would call and simply disposition them inside of our platform, which said, go ahead and move them to the next call, but put a wait step in there so that would tell us, hey, it's not ready yet. Our agents simply know, they just go down one list, and then when that's empty, they go down the next list, and they always are going to call their newest lead first. The system's set up for you so that that's all you have to do. You simply just call down your list, and you know you're calling people when it's time to call in the order that the people are supposed to be called. I really wanted to take the guesswork out of it for the agency so that agents, again, could really just focus on calling down the list, knowing with confidence that they are not violating any rules, that they're getting people on the phone, that they are calling them frequent enough, but not so much that it's going to be annoying for them. Now, this was all well and good, but one thing that we uncovered with this was that what do we do when we get leads that are flowing in really rapidly and we're actually on the phone with a prospect? Those leads simply had to wait. They had to wait for that call, and we were getting past that precious 5-minute interval. And because of that, we started creating automations. And so the automations would simply introduce you as the agent when the lead came in so that there was some contact with them right away. We got really robust with the automation, even investigated the idea of automatic scheduling. The problem is with automations, you can build something pretty robust as long as the lead is going to follow the flow. If they start having any arguments, if they have questions, if they don't understand, then the system is not going to be able to recognize those, and you are going to potentially really unnurture a lead, really do the exact opposite of what you're trying to do. Rather than nurture the lead and make them more qualified for you when you call, you could actually create a lead where you're having to clean up a mess when you actually get around to calling them. So automations were great. They moved us in the right direction. It got us in front of the leads as quickly as humanly possible. However, sometimes it would go awry if the conversation did not go as planned. One other problem we had with not only the automations, but with the call cadence as well as the notifications was, what do you do if you do get a lead at 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning? Obviously, we can't be sending text messages out to people that early. We are truly violating the rules. So we did put safeguards in place, but then once again, we really didn't solve that problem where we are trying to get in touch with our lead during the first 5 minutes of them requesting information. So the next thing I really investigated was how we could really make sure we could control when leads came in. Ideally, we want leads coming into you when you're sitting in front of your desk and you're ready to go, and that's when the lead shows up and you know it's as fresh as possible. It's not been sitting there for 4 hours. It wasn't somebody that was up at midnight watching an infomercial and then opted in and now they're asleep. We want to get them as soon as they filled it out. And so we created something that was amazing. It's a lead scheduling system. Basically, you control when the lead comes in. So our agents actually have the ability to say, I only want leads in California from this time to this time. I only want my leads in Maryland to come in from this time and this time. That way they can ensure they're fresh, they're during business hours, they can work them, and they're not getting stuck with leads that have been sitting in their system for 3, 4, 5, sometimes 12 hours because they came in overnight. And this has been a big, big game changer. With this, we've seen our contact rates spike inside the agency because we really are able to get in touch with that lead during the first 5 minutes. So now that we have leads flowing in when we want them to and we can control this schedule, we saw sales skyrocket. We saw contact rates go up because we know the more you contact them, the more you're going to sell. But we still were not done. We weren't satisfied. We knew there was more to this solution. And so here's what came next. We looked at AI. You know, it's been the buzz. You know, it's been everything everybody's talking about. And it's an amazing tool if you know how to use it. So we built an AI text bot that basically would replace some of those early automations and reach out to them and be able to handle any objections and really carry on a natural conversation with the goal of warming a lead, potentially creating a transfer, and ultimately being able to create a schedule for the lead. So basically they would say, I want to speak Monday at 3. And the AI bot was able to either confirm or suggest another time, but we were able to get some health conditions, really build the strength of the appointment, get them excited about what was coming up. So this way, our agents not only were getting leads in real time, they were being able to nurture them in real time. The AI bot was also reaching out to them and being able to schedule calls. So if you're talking to somebody on the phone, you didn't have to worry about whether or not they were being nurtured. You knew that was the case. This had a huge impact on our agency, and again, we saw a big spike in sales. Once we instituted the texting AI and we really got that in front of our agents, some agents rose to the very top. We had a couple of agents hitting $40K a month pretty consistently, and they became our top performers. And what I realized is, what if I could duplicate their efforts? What if I could clone them and get them to become an agent of themselves? And that's why we came in with AI voice technology. Now, in this instance, a lead comes in and we actually have an AI call them immediately. So now you don't have to worry about if you're on the phone with somebody, they're actually getting that call. You know they're getting the call in the first 5 minutes. You know they're getting called 6 times during the first 2 days. You know that's happening. And the AI voice follows a script that we have implemented, in addition to either creating a live transfer or creating a scheduled callback for the client. And with this, we saw our top performers become even more top, our average performers become great, and our new agents really become profitable right out of the gate. So just to summarize, the things that we've done that have really, really had a major impact in our agent force is, first off, letting them know when a lead came in, making sure you have some way to automate the process to say, hey, a lead came in, here's their info, and you're not waiting to look at your spreadsheet the next morning or check your email the next morning and be going, hey, what's happening? We had those calls go out to agents as soon as the lead came in so they could connect with them right away. Again, we're trying to close that gap between lead generation and first contact. The second thing that we went after was we looked at the cadencing of the calls. We wanted to make sure that we were calling them often. And so we took all the guesswork out of that and created systems where they knew, call in this order. These are the people I'm supposed to call. They're ready. They're not. It's very, very simple. The third thing we really looked at doing was creating some automation so that there were text messagings going out to the client if you happen to be on the phone, or if you weren't at work, or maybe you're at the grocery store and a lead came in. We wanted to make sure that was getting nurtured right away. When we realized we needed more than that, we created a scheduling system that lets you control when your leads flow in. So you can say, I want them in California at this time, I want them in Nevada at this time, I want them in Florida at this time. And that really, really had a huge impact on our agent force. And we brought in AI technology, both from the text messaging side and the voice side, basically having a more human touch with our leads. Even though you are busy working with another client, they're still getting nurtured, they're getting a phone call, they're getting text messaging. And when we put all that together, we really, really saw our agency sales skyrocket. We've been asked by so many people what we do, and the purpose of this video, again, is really to kind of just peel this back and share with you our journey. But it also is to let you know that this is kind of the birth and the entire mission of Lead2Client CRM. So we were having all of this success in our agency, and here we are now with Lead2Client CRM. Lead2Client CRM is a platform for agents by agents. Again, I'm an active agent. Everybody that works with us is an active agent. Our support staff, our sales staff, they all are active agents. They know the insurance industry like the back of their hand because they're just like you. Now, Lead2Client CRM is an award-winning CRM. We are built on Go High Level. I'm not trying to be secretive about that. And we have won awards from Go High Level for the innovation that we have, as well as the volume of agents that are actually using us and starting to really succeed. Lead2Client CRM incorporates all of the solutions that we talked about in a turnkey system. So that means we've taken out all of the guesswork for you. You don't need to go figure out voice AI. I don't need to figure out how I'm going to do texting AI. You don't need to create automations. You don't need to find scheduling systems. You don't need to figure out how to be notified when a lead comes in. We have all of that together. And if you're using our leads, we provide you with that lead scheduling option as well. So you literally can control exactly when a lead comes in. For agents that are looking for a system that works with true real-time leads, you're getting them when you're working, then this is a system that is built for you. We also know that it's very important that you know how to use your system, and that's why it's extremely important to us that we provide you with white glove onboarding. We've got a team standing by, ready to make sure you are successful. One of the biggest compliments we get is when an agent tells us, my production has increased because of your system. That's the best thing that we can hear about, and we want to hear about it when you get going with us. Now, it's inevitable when you're using any system, you're going to come across questions, you're going to come across problems, you're going to get confused on something. And because of that, we ensure that you have access to tech agents 24/7. I don't care if it's a holiday, I don't care if it's 3 a.m. and you're working on your system. We've got you. We've got agents ready to Zoom. We've got agents that can handle a chat communication back and forth to ensure that you are successful in this platform. We never want you to feel like you're out there on an island all by yourself without having the support you need. Which leads me to my last point. One of the things I'm also incredibly proud of is the community that we have. Our group helps each other. It's very often that in our Facebook group or in our internal communities that people will reach out and share their wins, share their successes, and we all learn from each other. So if you want to be part of a high-performing producer group, Lead2Client has that. We've got the systems, we've got the leads, we've got the AI technology, we are cutting edge, and we're not done creating. We're not done innovating. I am going to be on the cutting edge because I want my agency to be a top performing agency, just like I want you to be a top performing agent, or if you're an agency owner, I want your agency to be top performing as well.
Hey guys, this is Tap Colehouse, and I just want to give a shout out to the entire team at Lead2Client. So I have been a client for about 5 weeks now. Prior to using Lead2Client, I was 100% in the mortgage protection space, and I've really made a transition over into the final expense space. Since the 25th of September, since I started, I've submitted 37 applications, and I've purchased about 270 leads. So extremely profitable, and I feel like I'm just getting started in this final expense space. So this CRM and these leads work if you work. And although Corey and Holly and the team have absolutely zero interest in my business, they're there for me every step of the way. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.
All right. No such thing as perfect leads. We all know that. But you got to work with what works. I've done this long enough to be around the block a bunch of times, been exposed to a lot of different types of leads. By far and away, these are the best I've ever worked. I'm on vacation. I'm starting leads this morning. I will have preset people already opting in and setting appointments for me within the next couple days while I'm on vacation, and I can go ahead and schedule appointments and make sales to pay for the time with my wife and kids. There ain't nothing better. If you're in telesales, the CRM alone is worth it. Let's put the CRM with the leads. No better system out there.
I would just like to say thank you so much to the entire staff at Lead2Client. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you guys. And then secondly, the utilization of the AI within the CRM has given me back what I know is important to a lot of you guys that are listening to this right now, and that's my time. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. I appreciate it, and I look forward to working with you guys for a long time.
Hey guys, just wanted to make this quick video to share some feedback on my experience so far on the Business in a Box leads. I definitely can tell you that these leads are fantastic. I think the workflow that they've created and the automation that they've created with text messaging, emailing, is really what's going to make these leads be really quality. So I just tried the leads for the first time this week, and I think I bought 70, and of those 70 leads, I've written about $6,000 in annual premium. I'm not done working those leads yet. So I don't normally do reviews on leads unless I've worked them and can give an honest answer. But given that just in these few days, I've already written applications and they've been approved, I've already made a great profit on my investment. So any new agents, experienced agents that are looking to scale business or just get more volume into their CRM, I highly recommend this. Aside from all of that, guys, for me, it really comes down to how much assistance and support I get. So I highly recommend them. Go use them.
Our entire passion and drive is to help you be successful. So if you're there, if you're frustrated with not talking to leads, if you're frustrated with your agency not performing, if you as a producer are frustrated, you feel like you should be able to get more, you should be able to get more from your leads, you should be able to earn more, you should be more successful, we want to talk to you. We want to get on a demo. We just want to have a conversation about what our platform can do for you, what our leads can do for you. We've done this many times. We've got stories we'd love to share with you. We can show you case studies of agents that have gone from nearly quitting to crushing it, and you can be one of them. So reach out to us. Let's hop on a demo. Let's have a conversation and see what Lead2Client can do for you. And until next time, happy CRMing.